I been staying up all night, staying up all night, staying up all night.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, my man?
Dude, you've been in Austin for like 3 weeks now, dude.
I was
How have
born
you
here.
enjoyed the stay?
I was born here. It's pretty good.
Yeah, well, were you born in Austin?
Yeah,
No fucking way.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, actually? Wait, were your parents living in Austin or something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was born in Dallas, so
Oh, okay.
I always rep Dallas like the Dallas Cowboys. That's about my affiliation with Dallas.
All right.
Well, welcome, man. And welcome everybody to the first ever episode of the Daddy Nat podcast.
All right.
I just got a new space right above the Whip, which is a gym in Austin, Texas. My buddy, shout out to John Whiteley, who got me this spot. And my buddy Will came down and did this mural for me right behind here. Literally painted the whole thing. And yeah, we go way back. So I kind of figured, considering he did this and, both musicians, both artists, figured it'd be a pretty cool first little podcast to have you on. And,
Yeah, man.
I'm
excited. Thanks for having me.
yeah, bro. Well, yeah. I mean, I figured, as much as we can shoot the shit about just about anything, because we've known each other for so long, I figured we'd start maybe with what got you in to music. So obviously you're an artist as well, but for those of you who don't know, Will's a very talented musician. We used to play in bands together. But yeah, I mean, dude, what got you into music? Kind of start with art and kind of how you got into it, because you take a very interesting approach to it. You take your craft very seriously. It is actually what you do for a living now. Yeah. So talk to me about that, dude. What got you into it?
Yeah. So it's always been an interesting dynamic between music and art for me.
Yeah.
And growing up, I felt like I had to choose one, and that was it. And I could only do that.
Yeah.
From that day moving forward till the end of eternity.
Yeah.
And that never really happened. But I did start off doing art, like the regular art classes, that sort of thing. Charlie Bullock, you remember him? He was
Sure.
fun. I also was doing music at church because my mom was really into music. And
Shout out to Charlie Bullock, by the way.
yeah, that guy's badass.
Legend from our hometown of Athens. Oh, by the way, we're both from Athens, for those of you
Yes.
who don't know.
Definitely.
Continue along.
Yeah. So, excuse me. She did all the music for the church, and I started playing guitar for that. And that kind of, got me playing guitar. I was also listening to a bunch of classic rock, like AC/DC.
Like, how old were you when you picked up the guitar again?
Probably like around 12 years old.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, 5th grade? 6th
That
grade.
sounds right, somewhere in there.
You got into it before me, but
Yeah.
I got into it around a similar time.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
First
so
album was Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
that was your first album you ever bought?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
What was your second album? You
The
remember?
Gorillaz.
Okay, that's awesome. So this is another little piece here, because you
And
do
I
have
remember.
you do have quite an eclectic taste in music.
Indeed.
So do I. We've always kind of bonded, I think, from that perspective. So you got into art there. I mean, maybe tell them a little bit more about the story, because like you got into music, and then obviously we met in middle school. But maybe talk to you kind of
Right.
like about what drew you to music, what kind of got you into music, and kind of where it took you, and obviously you kind of,
Right.
it sounds like you ultimately you chose. I mean, kind of to a degree, bro. You chose art in a way.
Yeah.
You didn't choose it over it, because you still make music.
Right.
But
It's more
art
of
is a fiscally easy. As like it. Well, you say that, but to me, art seems like an easier way to sort of monetize or be more in a practical way towards a realistic, stable career. Whereas music's a little tougher to do.
It depends on how you look at it, but that can definitely be the case, what you just said. Yeah, you gotta hustle, man. So what drew me to music? So I really enjoyed from a young age music as kind of a vehicle for things that are hard to say or you can't even really say, you know.
Yeah, sure.
It's more of a vehicle for like an emotion that you can just step into
Right.
for that
It's a
amount
feeling.
of time.
Yeah, it's a feeling for sure.
And I thought that was freaking awesome. And I connected really deeply with that, and I still do. And I think there are similar things in different facets of the arts that approach that depth, but from a different perspective.
There's nothing really out there that can make you feel like euphoric or almost high
Yeah.
without taking any drugs other than music.
I don't know. I've seen some paintings.
Oh, really? That take you the same place? I was
that
going to ask you that.
Just like totally take me
Like
somewhere.
instantly, though? Because you know how, like, there's so much, like, I don't know, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if you listen to, like, a...
It's more
anything,
immediate.
you know what I
Music is
mean?
more
Yeah,
immediate,
like-
I feel. Unless it's like a shock and awe sort of thing where you get an immediate reaction from a visual.
Right.
And it's like the fight or flight mode type thing.
Sure.
Not really talking about that. For instance, there's this chapel in somewhere in Houston, the Mark Rothko Chapel.
Okay.
I spent 5.5 hours there
Okay.
just looking at these paintings. And it was like a religious experience for me. It was incredible. And I mean, they're these huge paintings. And I think it's an octagon. It's just one room, big tall ceilings, and these enormous paintings. And they're just hanging on the wall. And I don't know if you're familiar with Mark Rothko, but he's one of the...
That's what I was going to ask. It was
Yeah.
So is he, like, one of the greatest of,
well, he's,
of all time or something?
He's a contemporary American painter. He's the
It sounds like
expressionist
it's somebody
painter.
you perhaps really look forward to seeing before you went there.
Well, if you look at it at a glance, it's just one color or like two colors on a big canvas.
Okay.
That's, what you see at first.
Sure.
But if you look closer at it, there's so much depth in it because how he painted the paintings was he used a bunch of really thinned down layers of paint, and he
Okay.
would stack them up on top of each other. So if you pay close attention to it, you start to see the other colors kind of pop out. It's almost like the painting just
Wow.
wakes up to
How
you.
thick are these layers, would you say?
Oh, I mean, tiny.
Oh, interesting.
But you stack them up.
But but this
So
guy's
it's the
renowned for
illusion of
doing like
depth.
some very cool things like that, huh?
Well, he was a very troubled person, in his personal life. And, he's dealing with a lot of
Like a lot of good
dark
artists.
stuff,
Right.
depression and, a lot of things. And I think that definitely comes across in those specific paintings in that Rothko Chapel, because it's almost like a density to it. It's
Huh.
almost like it's not a painting at all, but you feel it. And that's what I was getting at earlier, where some artwork can have the same feeling that music has, but it's just so much easier for music, I feel. And it's hard for works
Well, I
of
think
art
it
to
takes like
get
a
there.
sophisticated eye as well to be able to
Yeah.
like notice that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and appreciate it. So that's cool, man. I mean, yeah. So obviously, like, art has driven you in a lot of different ways. But I mean, even in your, personal career and all kinds of stuff, man.
Mhm.
So I think we talked about this already. Which do you prefer, art or music? So would you say you have one that you prefer?
That's like saying, would you want to cut off your hand or your feet,
You
Depends
say you
on
have
what
to have
you do.
both? You have to have both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a cop-out, but I think it's kind of a stupid question, to be completely honest. I wrote it down, but in hindsight, it's a little bit of a stupid question.
I would like to have them both. That's my answer.
If there was any part that we were going to have edited in this entire podcast, perhaps this section would be that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, let's talk about other things. Let's talk about influences, maybe, and let's stick to the music side. Obviously, I'm a musician. You're a musician. You know, I think it's fucking cool. I think it's very rare to find somebody who has talent as an artist and as a musician.
Yeah.
At least in just because it takes the sheer amount of time that it takes to get good at both of those skills.
Right.
It takes a fuck ton of time, bro. So, I think that's super interesting. But let's stick into the music side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would you say are your biggest influences? Maybe growing up, and then in modern time. Who would you say your top influences are, Daddy?
Okay. Well, growing up, I was really into AC/DC. Angus Young. I play the guitar. Started playing guitar.
Gibson SG, baby.
Oh yeah, that was my jam.
Oh, Angus Young Jr. over here.
And
He used
you
to
had
duck walking
the-
all the stage, boy.
You had the Les Paul.
I did, bro. Had to let him know.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what Malcolm had?
No.
Well, he fucking
But it still
his
looks
loss, Oh, Slash is what Slash had. I remember that's
Slash,
part of the reason I
yeah.
got it.
I don't know if you ever got that top hat, but
Nah, I didn't.
no.
No curly hair or top hat for me.
Yeah.
That was for you.
Right.
Moved on to better things.
So yeah, AC/DC was a huge part of my early music life.
Isn't
Lots of
AC/DC
classic
beautiful
rock.
though, dude? I mean, like just before we go into the rest of the classic rock, some of the best basically three chord songs
Oh yeah.
of all time. The formula's perfect. They're a pop machine. I mean, for
They
those of you,
are.
people don't realize this. They're a pop machine. Every song almost
good
sounds
point.
the same, but they don't. They really don't. There's a lot of dynamics, but especially with songs like Thunderstruck to like, Back in Black to like, or even the earlier stuff, right? When they had the other singer before he died. What's the one with the bagpipes? What's that one again?
Bon Scott.
Yeah, for sure. But what's that song with the bagpipes? Like one of their first hits.
Long way to the top.
It's a long way to
if
the top
wanna
if you want to
know
rock and roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, bro. First
That
time I
made
saw
me
that,
want
bro,
to-
I was like, fucking pumped. Bro, because they're like inside, dude. They're all just fucking shirtless in Australia, just jamming at some show, like one of the
Yeah.
first music videos. Anyway, yeah, so we shared that love. AC/DC was definitely one that
Absolutely.
I mean, bro, at its core, AC/DC makes pop songs, though.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think it's a popular opinion, probably, but
Well, not a lot of people would have that opinion, but they would agree with you
yeah,
because it's not the first thing you think of when you think of AC/DC,
right.
but it's totally true.
All right, so AC/DC is obviously corny as fuck. So in today's era, so let's move on. What else did you get influenced by?
Well, a lot of classic rock. My dad listened to a lot of that stuff, so naturally I listened to that too.
Yeah.
AC/DC, Judas Priest, Metallica, that bridged into more of the hard rock. Lots of rock and roll radio, and he was obsessed with the band Rush,
Yeah,
which I still love, and they're amazing.
I mean, for a
Neil
three-piece,
Peart.
one of the best three pieces probably to ever exist.
Yeah, and Neil Peart, I think, is probably the best drummer that will ever be alive.
Yeah, debatable, but sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he is a fucking goat. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's better than pretty much most all of them, but there are
Yeah.
probably some people today that are technically, it's debatable. I don't keep up with drummers enough, all right? He's better than Travis Barker, so sorry, Blink-182 and fucking
Shots
Travis Barker.
fired. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, drama on the first episode.
No, I totally agree. Danny Carey could maybe hold a candle.
Purdy from fucking...
That's a little different, though.
Yeah, but he was still such a killer
He's
studio
great.
session, drummer. Okay, yeah. So Rush, that actually was huge influences to all the songs that we played, in our first band.
Right.
And then then we split up, which is kind of funny. We I don't. Do you recall why we? Oh wait, I do recall actually. Should we go? Do you want to go into that story, bro?
That's up to you, man. I feel like we settled the score, so.
Okay, so I don't know. Do you want to? Who's going to tell it?
I'll kick it off. So
you kick it off.
My dad had this bright idea, which it actually looks pretty awesome, in hindsight, but I'm surprised he pulled it off. So my mom went away for a week to go visit her sisters or something, I don't remember. And he went to Walmart and got a bunch of cans of spray paint. And we went into our bathroom inside our house. And we painted the walls just all crazy graffiti style with spray paint. And it smelled like spray paint for probably like 4 months. And it was a blast, I lost a lot of good brain cells probably, and we had a little box fan just blowing out the one window, trying to get all the fumes out. Anyways, you came over one of the days at the
Several
end.
people were coming over to help spray paint the house, it might be known.
That may or may not be
Me
true.
and Sam and Mason,
Okay, that's true.
and probably Max. I don't know if Max was there or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Okay, so
Carry
we
on.
were almost done with the whole bathroom.
How old were we, Will? 14?
14-ish,
Yeah.
13, 14. There's a part right above our shower, and so he proceeds to draw a big phallic symbol above my shower, as any 13-year-old with a can of spray paint would. And, we tried to cover it up afterwards. You can't really tell because there's so much going on the wall. But it's still there to this day. And that's your claim to fame early on.
And so, literally, dude, I did this. I'm not here to tell you anything about it. What happened? What didn't happen? It's pretty true.
That did
Pretty
happen.
accurate.
That did happen.
All right. And yeah, after that, we decided we were gonna not be friends anymore, and the band broke up.
For other reasons, it wasn't the spray paint on the wall.
What the band break up for?
I don't know.
That was definitely part of it.
You were talking shit about AC/DC, probably. It
was just high school bullshit, is what I
Yeah.
chalk it up to.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I literally don't remember a specific trigger. I do remember it was like y'all got that. Your mom came in and saw the giant palace, I guess.
Now, she didn't realize that until she had gotten over the part that there was just spray paint on the walls. I'm surprised my dad is still alive to this day.
She was pissed?
Of course. She was not okay with it for like a month. And then she got over it. And then she realized there was a big dick on the wall.
Well, shouts out Maria Ogburn. She actually helped me sing for some of the very first shows that we ever did, just especially with stage presence and just little stuff that went a long way. So
Yeah.
cheers to your mother. But yeah,
Cheers.
literally all that happened. The band broke up, and then 2 years later, we got in a band again, and then after college we got in a band again. Then we did Brethren together. If any of you guys know Brethren, that was Willis and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's come a long way, dude.
So back to the story.
Yeah, what do you got? Keep going.
So it's come full circle here. Me up about a month ago and said, "Hey, I've got a nice wall for you, empty blank canvas. I want Daddy Nat in the stars." So I thought to myself, this is the long play here. I'm gonna get Daddy Nat back, and I don't know if he knows where.
Where's
it
the
is.
dick, guys?
Somewhere.
Where's the dick? If you find the dick, I will literally have Will Venmo you $100 of
Money.
my money. Because I don't think there's a dick here, guys. He even tried to show me where it is. I do know where he thinks it is. But you guys will be the ones to tell us really where the dick is.
Maybe there's more than one.
That is
I don't
a
know.
pretty beautiful way to bring it full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said we weren't going to talk about this, but you
Well,
know,
it just
it happens sometimes, eh?
popped up naturally there.
Okay. So we talked about your influences. Let's keep it rolling. I want to talk about obviously this is something I want to be a little more music pog. I do want to talk about some of the more modern music that just came out and
For
some
sure.
things around it.
Yeah.
But what are you listening to right now? Like what is wait, did we talk about your influences? Like your modern day influences and stuff?
Kinda.
Yeah. Let's just talk. What are you listening to right now? Like, what, or maybe even a better way is what could you always listen to anytime? You know what I mean? And what's heavy in rotation also?
I see. Well, really into Radiohead, big Radiohead fan.
Yep.
Into some more obscure things. Been getting into a lot of modular synthesizer music.
Yep.
So there's a couple artists that dabble with that. Heinbach, he's amazing. He's got a YouTube channel and he's kind of experimental electronic music.
That's cool.
Really into him. I've been listening to the Grateful Dead, actually, a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a lot, or like
Well, ever since I've been down here in Austin, actually.
the last 3 weeks, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It's been nice.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been new for me. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I love
feel-
the Mars Volta. That's my favorite band of all time.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit. Like, I mean, like, why?
It's an obscure progressive
I
rock
appreciate
band.
the Mars Volta, but I do think
They're
that
fucking
they're.
awesome.
I'm just not like deep in that rabbit hole of like, oh, there's so much meaning here behind the Mars Volta lyrics and also the music. Oh my God. La, 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 la. So tell me why you love the Mars Volta so much.
Well, I actually have a voice that sounds like that in my brain. Every time I listen to Mars Volta, it's like, God, this is so good.
This is so good. Oh!
Yeah, exactly. The first time I heard it, I had never heard anything like it, and I've been hooked ever since, pretty much.
Okay.
So
It is kind of like perfect for you, I feel like.
it's very esoteric, very kind of strange. There's weirder music out there for sure.
For sure.
But it's a nice blend for me of.
It's like the pop esoteric music.
It's definitely progressive rock. I wouldn't say pop at all.
I just mean it's popular.
I don't know if I would say that either.
Mars Volta's pretty popular, dude.
In some circles, yeah.
I mean, it's like, it was in fucking pop culture. Like, Jonah Hill was fucking talking about it and shit.
I guess so.
Yeah, but anyway, keep going.
Anyways, they're great. I love their lyric style, real abstract. It's almost like listening to a cubist painting because the words describe a feeling
Okay.
from multiple different vantage points, I feel like.
Okay.
So you get this disjointed kind of understanding of what he's trying to say.
Sure.
And I find that pretty cool. And the music reflects that feeling also. And they also incorporate a lot of different musical styles into their music, which I find pretty interesting
Yeah.
also. A lot of Latin rhythms in there, obviously rock and roll, progressive rock and roll. They get real weird with it sometimes, real abstract,
Yeah.
ambient kind of music concrete sort of things. It's
Right.
just cool, man. And they do concept albums. That's their big thing.
Yeah.
And I really like that too.
Are they all studio musicians, or what was like their how they all meet or something? You know?
You know, I think they all met up in El Paso. It's really two.
Oh, interesting.
The main
Hopefully that
guys
sounds
are the
better now.
singer and the guitarist.
Yeah.
Cedric Bixler Zavala and Omar Rodriguez Lopez
Uh-huh.
is the guitarist. And they're just awesome, man. Omar has his own thing, his own project. He just records. He's a madman, okay?
Love
he
it.
records all the time. He's always putting out music, and he lives and breathes music.
Good.
And I love it.
He's still putting out music today?
You know, I'm not sure. I haven't checked up on his solo project. I've kind of just been listening to the Mars Volta stuff.
Sure.
But he did.
Was Mars Volta still dropping?
No, they broke up. I've been waiting for them
right.
to get back together. Just,
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Chili Peppers got back
Channeling-
together, so, you know, there's that.
Channeling that energy. You know, they actually hung out with John Frusciante a little bit.
Oh, they
I
did?
think he may have played on some of their albums.
I could see that.
Earlier on. But yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, that's
And
cool.
I really
mean,
connect with that work ethic. Like, they just go as hard as they can for it.
yeah, bro. I mean, yeah. And that is one thing you've always had, which is interesting to me, is you always have had, like, a work ethic. I think for you, you're not naturally like somebody who just, like, blazes through something, but you just spend 14 hours doing it and you kind of get lost in it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you're like, which is both work. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
it's like, also there's something beautiful about that because it's like never feels like it has to be done in that kind of world when you're just kind of going all day, every day. It's like, I mean, you have deadlines in your head, but you're not like letting those limit you, I guess. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just a different
It's a different approach.
approach. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to have that pressure of the deadline just
Yeah.
finite in stone that cannot be moved.
I
And
have
that-
to work that way for sure.
That
I mean,
gives you the reality of the situation.
Gives you clarity,
And then
yeah.
you can execute. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, man. Oh, well, I was gonna say, did you listen to Chili Pepper's new album?
I think I listened to their single with you.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We listened to it together, didn't we? 'Cause
Yeah.
it came out not too long ago.
I haven't given their
Me
new
neither. Yeah, let's
album-
not speak on that. Let's
Yeah,
not speak on that because
yeah.
I haven't given the proper spin either.
Right.
So kind of just on some more recent stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do listen to hip hop to some degree, not as much as I do, but you're
Yeah.
still
I
definitely
dabble
into
just
it.
a little bit, yeah.
You said you listened to Kendrick's album, or you listened to some of it?
Not all of it. I'm about halfway through.
Okay. What's your like first impression? What's your thoughts?
I'll tell you my first thought, but I listened to some of the songs again,
Yeah.
and I have a different thought now. So
Okay.
my first thought was, I'm really not liking this at all. Like,
okay,
what,
got you.
what the hell? Yeah, Kung Fu Kenny kind of was
Well,
not,
wait,
was not
I'll
doing
say-
the Kung Fu.
Right.
But let me tell you why I had this thought. So when I listened, generally, I guess, when I listen to music, well, it really depends. But the first thing I connect to when I listen to new music is the overall vibe of it
Right.
and how the instrumental is pushing the song forward and is pushing the emotions
Yeah.
forward.
Sure.
So I don't think this new album is really focused on that.
Nah.
And coming into it with that focus, of course I didn't like the music because
Right.
that is not the focus. So listening to it again and just focusing on the lyrics and the vocal take, I had a much better time. And I'm really enjoying the album now. And I feel like it's more of a story. It's much more introspective.
Right.
And it's really, I mean, you couldn't, it's all about the vocals.
Yeah.
I think everything else is just very in the background, ancillary to the vocal delivery.
Interesting.
Which is, yeah, not how I typically listen to music.
For sure.
So,
Oh, they had some pretty legendary samples actually on it. Like there's some like sort of historic Marvin Gaye samples that he got featured on
Really?
it. Which, if you know anything about trying to get stuff featured, or sorry, not cleared for royalties for sampling,
it's a big hassle.
dude, Marvin Gaye, you're fucking not getting it. like unless
Yeah.
you're Kendrick. I mean,
Right.
literally, bro. And so I
I
like
get
that he did stuff like that. You know, I don't think this is supposed to be a record that, for me, is going to be played, you know, in the summer. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, it's like
No,
it's
it's-
or like on a boat, or like, you know, like
It's not a fun record. It's very
Yeah.
introspective. Feels
it's,
like
it's making a point. It's talking about
psychological.
it's telling a story. You know, it's
Yeah.
talking about shit, bro. It's really talking about shit. It's really
Right.
talking about problems in the world. You know, and his background and his community,
Yeah.
and I think really highlighting things that nobody else would. You know what I mean? And I don't know
Okay.
if anybody else could. He has this one song where he talks from all these different perspectives. One of which is, or maybe it's several songs, but he talks about from the perspective of Nipsey Hussle, which I thought is crazy because like I don't think anybody else could do that other than Kendrick. I don't know if you know who Nipsey Hussle is.
I
But
don't.
Nipsey
I do
Hussle
not.
was like a legendary rapper out of the same area of California that Kendrick is from.
Okay.
And made it out of the streets and really did some amazing things in terms of like uplifting himself, uplifting his community, making money, being able to be, you know, a successful businessman who didn't have to do anything in the streets anymore.
Wow.
And setting an example for that. He died. He got like shot a few years back, maybe like end of 2019,
Terrible.
beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And just like right outside of his shop by a guy who's schizophrenic or something. And anyway, he's
Man.
very much so legendary. And unfortunately, I feel like his music didn't really become as popular as it is today until
Right.
after that. But he's an icon as far as hip hop, you know, goes. He's as big as Tupac, if not, you know, bigger in modern society.
Wow.
Which is crazy, right?
That's
So-
saying something. Yeah.
yeah, and he's also from the same area as Tupac. So it's like, you know, he's really almost like a martyr for the, you know, I think a lot of people think of him that way. So anyway,
Wow.
I the fact that Kendrick did that, I just thought was interesting because there's a lot of people who wouldn't allow that. I think, you know, I don't think Drake would be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, or J. Cole or anybody, bro. Honestly, anybody.
Yeah.
So, and then I think outside of that, man, I just think, you know, I've only listened to it one and a half times. I'm gonna have to listen to it probably 10 to 20 times before I'm really gonna be able to understand it. So I don't
Yeah.
have a lot to say. I think it's great from my first impression of it, but I think it's great art. You know, I think I appreciate the fact that it's art. It's just art, man. It's just he's
Yeah.
an artist, and I definitely don't think this is his last album. I remember at one point people were talking about that. I definitely don't think this is his last album. In fact, I think this is his last album with TDE, which was his, you know, sort of record label or
Okay.
yeah. So I think he's out of that and he'll be able to do his own thing now. Yeah, that could be cool.
That could be.
But we'll see.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's still got some legendary things to do, and
Yeah.
I want to give this one some more spin. It's you know, it's cool to see him evolving. If anything, he's always evolving. He's always being true to himself, which is just fucking cool to see.
And that's what you want to be as a musical artist. You always want to be growing and pushing your boundaries and
Yeah.
exploring things.
Well, what I like is that Kendrick put himself in a position to where he can do this, you know?
Right.
And, you know, I want to make records and I want to make hits, but my number one rule every day when I go in the studio is I am only going to make what I feel like making at this moment in time. And I'm not going to, I
Right.
don't give a fuck if it's a hit or not.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make what I feel like making, what sounds natural, what feels good to me at that time. And I think when you do that every day, eventually you're going to have some hits within there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's the approach that I take. But I do think that, you know, I do think Kendrick is like probably the best album maker in modern society.
Mhm.
So yeah,
It
I'm a big
definitely
fan.
feels like an album as an experience. Again, I haven't finished it, so I can't speak to all of it, but what I have heard has been almost cinematic in a way.
Right.
It's almost like,
Yeah, it's like a movie. Yeah.
you get these cut scenes of memories or something and in between the songs, and it, you know, evokes this mental picture of something that you would remember from 25 years ago or something.
Right.
You know? and then it would just go into another song. And even his vocal delivery is, maybe I'm just noticing it on this album and I haven't noticed it in his previous work, but you mentioned the idea of him delivering songs from other people's perspective.
Right.
It does seem like he even changes that mid-song.
Right.
Like mid-verse even sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like he'll enunciate certain words or letters to kind of...
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
That seems like he's talking from a specific perspective versus some of the other... yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's
cool.
It's cool, man. Yeah,
It's
it
like
is
a
cool.
storytelling device.
Yeah.
Definitely seems cinematic.
You hear they discontinue the iPod? Like it's gone forever, dude.
R.I.P. Pour
Alright,
one
dude,
out for the
pour one
homies.
out, bro. Pour one out. Bro, I've been talking about a fucking revolutionary thing.
Man, I used to have, what was it? The big one.
I know we all had that one.
Gosh, it was so big.
Like the first one.
And it had maybe 5 gigabytes.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. That was a lot of songs, though. I didn't know shit about 320, kbps or whatever the hell it is, kilobits per second.
No. Just how many songs can you download from LimeWire?
You get a shit ton. A lot. I mean, that was like 5,000 songs, wasn't it?
It was a lot.
Yeah. R.I.P. Well, dude, what else you got, man? Anything else you want to chat about, dude? I feel like this has been pretty fun. It's been pretty good.
It has been good. It's been nice. Tell me about some of your music stuff you're working on now.
Dude. Well, I have a song coming out on May 27th, which you've heard, called Up All Night. It's my first parenthetical record. It's called Up All Night, in parentheses, Idle Hands. I feel really good about it. I have a feature from Zeely, who's from Black Alack. Shout out Black Alack. Awesome band that I've, honestly looked up to for a long time, and now getting to be able to make records with them. It's good, man. I've got a little bit of that going on, dude. Have some other opportunities bubbling out there that I can't really talk about yet here, but it's definitely good stuff. And man, I have the studio. So, I mean, really, this is kind of the first iteration of us using this space, and I want to be making more videos for my channel on YouTube and kind of embracing, just embracing the hustle of like the social media life again, at least on platforms like YouTube and
right.
And I'll probably freaking get back on TikTok again. That time suck of a hole. Go see my hundreds of thousands of followers there. Yeah, I know.
How many dances
Low
do
key
you
flex.
know?
Dude, not
TikTok
enough. Not enough
dances?
anymore. I don't know. I'm going to actually have to study it for a while before you. But yeah, man, I mean, I got a lot. I'm really trying to focus on shows right now, gigging, summer tour, perfecting my live set, and then collaborating with other local artists, like Black Alack, like Abby, like, other people that I have in my network, man. And yeah, dude, I'm doing this shit full time now, so maybe that's something I haven't let you guys know yet. But yeah, quit my day job not long ago, and I'm full force, dude. Yeah, so yeah, it's good, bro. It's good, man. I don't want to talk all about me. I mean, I feel like that gets intertwined in here, and honestly, I'll probably have some plugs like throughout the video or whatever, my own ads or some bullshit. But but yeah, man, no, I mean, I really, I appreciate everybody's support, man. I feel like my music continues to do well. It kind of surprises me that it continues to just kind of grow in a world of its own, and that motivates me to keep doing shit.
You should, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
You put out some good stuff.
Yeah, bro. You paint some cool shit. And also, you make dope music, too. We're about to make some dope music after this. You down?
I think we are.
You want to get some dinner? Should we get somewhere around here? You want to get some dinner? Are you hungry?
I hear that Austin has some good food.
Yeah, we do. We're right in the heart of it over here. We got some real good food around here.
We might have to check that out.
We might have to. Oh, dude, you still haven't been to Nasha yet, have you? That Indian place? Indian
never
fusion
been
place? Oh, yeah, it's fire. Okay. Where can people find you, bro?
On Instagram, _Demiurgic.
See you right here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Do a lot of illustration stuff, a lot of cool glitch art stuff. Make music on the side too.
Can hire this motherfucker for soundscapes and freaking digital design. You're making a. Can we talk about the video game or?
Oh, that's some other thing.
Yeah, Will's.
We're not there yet.
We're not gonna talk. We'll talk about it on the next one, eh?
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's pretty dope. All right, it's pretty dope. It's multi-talented. Willis Ogburn, Demiurgic, dude. Thanks for coming. This is fun, bro. First one.
Heck yeah.
Let's go get some food, eh?
Let's do it.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Staying up all night. Ah, na, 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 na. Ah. Cold 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all we need. When I drag myself to the after party, I get drunk as hell and I leave.